and the tasks are given in every session. So hope the task is happening up, or else questions should be there. Which anyhow, like the Fusion is node based, so it take a different approach compared to your previous knowledge of After Effects. So sometimes it takes a little time to understand, but the same concept of Fusion and After Effects is same. Fine. Now the topic. So yes, AVI and MOV is supportable because compositing generally happens with a sequence of frames. Like Fusion, whenever we go to the studios, they neither use AVI nor they use MOV also. They use only image sequence. So generally the compositing software are work with a sequence of images. These two formats as given, like video can be played over there, but work always happens in image sequence. Image sequence. Now the question comes like why not MPAG and why they've given AVI and MOV means it is the default file format of Windows and Macintosh. Hope we have understood, Mr. Sagar. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Fine. But the work always will happen in compositing field with image sequence only. Now, any more questions of anyone? So we can get it clear and move up. And then, so let's move to before class compositing, right? We have composed all the things. Before the things, we have understood about the modes and operators. And before we got to know how to import. And before we got to know how to make a sequence. So just I'm giving you a summary. Till now, what are the things we have learned? We have learned the first one, what is node. Then slowly we have entered into how to make a sequence. I mean like composition, comp making. Then we got to know importing. Then we got to know how to work with the mode and operator. Mode and operator. And we got to know how to work with multi-layer. Does it okay? This is a summary what we are till now understood in Fusion, multi-layer comp, right? And then after we have learned pre-composition. In After Effects, we do have pre-comp, right? Pre-comp means one composition into the next composition. That is called pre-composition. So these many chapters we have understood till now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But on which topic what we have done, that make a sense. And in every topics we should have a folder and the Fusion file inside it. So this is a summary of previous sessions. Now I'll go to a major topic. Seventh topic is animation. Again, this is a major topics. But regarding nodes, you can make a list. What are the nodes we have learned till now? So can you able to recall the nodes name? What are the nodes we have learned till now? Background node?
Merge node.
Yes. Node, we got to know. Merge node. Then what is the other node?
Loader.
Loader. Next, sticky note. Next,
Transform node.
yes, transform node. Just making a refresh. Does these nodes are known? Just check it off. Sticky node, transform. What is the specialty in transform node? Question, right? What cannot be done in merge that is done with the transform? What is that? Like scaling the X and Y separately. It is possible in transform node. We can change the anchor point, center point in the transform node. So this is the facility. Merge also does movements, rotation, everything. Transform also does that. but merge cannot able to scale X and Y separately. Merge cannot able to change the center point. And that all things can be done through the transform. That's why we are making transform node to get use in the flow. Next, transform node is a node which allow to make a loader to move. Loader generally doesn't move unless it is connected to merge. But through the transform node, we can able to make any loader to get move up. So hope we have understood the uh, like specialty in the transform node. Is it clear? So just taken a break to make you know what are the nodes we have learned, what can be done. And the next thing we have got to know how to make a flow. So flow making also we have understood, right? So this is a special topic. It is a part of your comp sequence making and all, but flow is a special thing. So just noting out with numbers because that is what the input, what are the time we have put in over here, that could be there inside our hard disk in a folder format. So let's move to the animation. Now, the beauty of fusion and sorry, the internet get fluctuate. Hope now the screen is visible. Is it okay? Now, the thing of discussion in After Effects, to make an animation, we should have a composition, right? Unless we do have a composition and a layer, animation never happens. It is must in After Effects. But in Fusion, we can make animation to any node without making composition and all. So this is the beauty in Fusion. Fusion is capable of make animation without making a new compositions. Any node having a property and that property is having a value input box, then it is animatable. So hope the first difference we got to know inside the animation where After Effects stands and where Fusion stands. So let us go into this screen. We have understood the first node that is called BG. Now see, BG node does have a color and this color does have a value. So in Fusion, whichever the thing having the input value box, that is animatable. First thing clear to be. Now how to make an animation? Animation always happens with the time. So the timeline is here and we can see the timeline over here also where we can see the keys and all things. Now on the screen, we can able to find the timeline is equipped with the equipped with what? Some frame numbers are there. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers are there. What are these numbers? Because animation happens with reference to the time only. That's why we need to understand these numbers. This is on the timeline at the below, the right side top corner is the current frame number. Wherever your reader is there, that number will be displayed over here. So it's clear. Now coming to the start, this is the total timeline start and end. And this is your composition start and end. So timeline starts here and timeline ends here, but composition starts here and composition ends here. Example, if this background to get started 500 frames and it has to end in 600 frames, then the middle it will find 500 and 600. So hope we got to know what is the total timeline is the first and last input box, but the second input and second last input is your loader or your particular nodes in and out. So hope these things are clear. Is it okay? Now this is only the zoom in and zoom out to see all the frames together on the screen. Now let's make it neutrals. It can be start from 0 and end at 600 frames. Nice. You can see it on the screen. If it is not visible, drag and drop here inside the timeline and make your reader to move to the position of the range, and you can see it up. So now we have seen what are these numbers is equivalent to. Next, we can move the reader frame by frame by the help of your open and close bracket, the first hotkey in Fusion. Inside the animation, the open bracket and close bracket helps you to go to the previous frame and next frame. Previous and next frame can be done with this two hotkeys. But in After Effects, your page up, page down, that all things are working up to go to the next and previous frame. So animation happens with this. Now, to get a particular value to animate on the command panel, we can give a right click on the slider and you can find a option called animate. Check to the option, whichever the value to get animate, over to the slider, give a right click and switch to the option called animate. The time we make it animate, it turn into green color. Can you able to see? Green color indicates that it is animated as well as it is on the keyframes. What happens once we start up animating, then exactly on the timeline, you can find a key will be formed. What will form? A key will form. Hope it is clear, visible. Key is responsible to make the animation. But the time the reader moves, then you can find there is no green mark, there is blue mark. So as if you got to know, Fusion is completely color based. So what we have seen now, green color. The green color indicates key. Then immediately you can find a blue color. So it indicates animated, but without no key position. No key position. But animation is there. In both the case, animation is there. But another color will be finding always before animation, that is called gray mark. So no animation. No animation. So these colors will be coming under your value box. The value box represent these colors. So by looking to the color, we can take a judgment. Does it animated, not animated, and all. So this is 2R animation, this is no animation. So hope this much of things are clear. Here you can see this is not animated, this is animated. But at present it is not in the keyframes. But the time we go to the first frame, then immediately you can find a green color mark. So hope we have understood how does a particular value can be start animating. It can start animating by giving a right click, and if there is no animation, you will find make animation. If already animation, then you will find set key. So at present you can make a value also, set key. Now the next, once animation is started off, then you can move the slider and get the key generate as well as change the color and find the animation happen. So simple. So hope we have understood now how to make a simple animation in Fusion. Step number 1, make the value beside slider to go for animation on. Then change the slider to the next position, change the value. Simple animation over. So hope we have understood now how to make the animation, and let us see and play it up. To play it up, spacebar. So hope we can see now the black color is slowly turning into red color. And then after it has to turn into yellow color. So we can do all the things with the keys. So after 100 frames, red happen, we can start up animating this, the green. And here, the next key started up happening. After 100 frame, the green will get activate and it will turn to the maximum and the yellow forms now. So hope we have understood now. First red, then slowly turn into yellow and again to the black, then make this two slider to come to the normal positions. So hope we have understood now how to make a simple animation in Fusion by just moving the sliders. Is it okay? So without taking any node extra, or making composition, any value can be animatable. So hope we have understood from the screen what is the difference between these two software. Fusion makes every node to get animate independently. Hope we have understood how to make a simple color to get changed. Now the animation is okay, but we don't find this is what we are looking for. Then we can make this whole node to get into neutral by setting to go for reset default or load default. So where it is inside the node, right click in the setting box, we can go for load default. So at this condition, what happened? What is the previous one? Everything get default black color. So now we have understood how to make animation, how to modify the animation, how to delete the animation, how to start up the animation. Yes, right click, and it don't find the option over here because it doesn't shows any particular property. The particular property are always in command panel. Give a right click and switch to the animate button and go to the destination and change the value. Animation happens, and we can see the animation at three different places. One, inside the control palette, I mean like command panel here, or inside the timeline here with the keys. And the next very big important panel will open now, that is called spline panel. Flow, timeline, spline. So the keyboard shortcut F5, F7, F8. Okay, animation panel and spline panel will help us to see the animation in detailed manner. In the timeline, we can see the keys only, so you can control the timing of the animation. But the fine tuning of the animation cannot be done here. Fine tuning means smoothness of your animation will be done in the spline editor. So in command panel, we can able to generate the animation. In timeline, you can make the animation faster or slower, or we need to start after certain time. Timing management can be done. But in the spline editor, the animation can be smooth off. So you can see the same animation now in a graph manner. Does it visible? Graph like cities visible. And you can fit it off. These are all the keys, which is looking like a dots, but inside the timeline, it looks like a bar. So hope we have understood now what is these buttons are called. In Fusion, we can find the keys in two different shapes. It may be dot or it may be bar. So dot also in red color, and bar also you can find in red color. So these are the shapes of the key. Keys looks like this, and because of the keys, animation happens. Now we'll move to the spline editor to control the animation. What is the topic going on? How to control the animation. Some of the animation property can be controlled in the command panel, like changing the value and all. Some of them can be controlled inside the timeline by changing the timing and all. But spline editor make the smoothness with curvature. So that is there because spline is a graph where you can see the thing in detail about the animation, and F4 is a command which makes a particular panel to get fit to the screen or maximize the things. And here we can switch to the option called selection, and a lot of keyboard shortcut are here. We'll see in detail now. So there is a small button called fit. The time we are fitting, it make the endpoint or all the keys to be get visible on the screen. Here two things can be done. By selecting it, we can move horizontally or vertically. If you are moving the keys horizontally, the timing will change. If you move the keys vertically, the value will change. So this is value axis, this is time axis, time. So if you need the animation to start after certain time, then you can have to go horizontal movement. So animation timing get changed. Hope we got to know how to move it up. So the movement can be done by the navigation arrows, left and right. So here we have understood how to move the animation in timing format. Now switching to the up and down, the value can be changed. Example, in this particular node, switch to the F4 button, get it minimized, go to F5. F5 is panel, like flow panel. F8, spline editor. F5, F5, note down. F5, F8. Again, two keyboard shortcut we have introduced here. F5, F8. This is spline editor, and this is your flow panel. So now let's move into this. Now the keys are there. Inside the spline, you can see the keys. And you can make it fit to the window by the command Control F, next hotkey, CTRL plus F, fit. This works everywhere. This can be fit also. If it is zoom out, Control F, fit. It is also Control F, fit. Now, we have seen how to move the keys horizontal. You can jump to the keys by Alt and close and open bracket. Again, a hotkey, introduce Alt plus open and close. So it is not writing. Let me take 1 minute. The screen is visible, right? And speaker is giving me some trouble. Okay. Does the screen okay?
Okay, sir.
Fine. So here we are using a keyboard shortcut, this, to get to the previous key and the next key. And the other one is next key. Slash. So with Alt, we can jump to the next and previous keys. So these two buttons will be helping us at all time, jumping to previous and next. So now Alt, see, first key is which number frames? 0. And the last key is there, inner shift key. So to make the animation faster, we can bring the keys closer. While we are bringing the keys closer like this, there is a chance the value will get changed. So to get rid of this problem, we can use the timeline. So here value will remain the same. Now got to know how does the timeline and spline editor are connected to each other. So hope the animation can be faster or the animation can be slowed down by the help of your keys to get closer and keys to get far away. So bring the keys close to each other and make the animation faster. So hope we have understood now how to make the animation fast and slow. Next. The same animation could we select all the keys. Now it is only 2 keys. If 500 keys are there, the animation faster and slower cannot be done by one key movement because the animation is not done in single 2 keys. It is done with 500 keys. So at that time, we can go for scale keys. Scale key is a technique. We can select all the keys inside the spline editor, and there is a small button over here which make all the keys to get select with a in and out mark. So we can stretch these keys together in the spline editor. So this is another technique. So what we have seen now, how to stretch the animation, how to stretch the animation by scale key. And scale key is a button which is there in the spline editor. Whenever we select multi keys, it will get highlighted and it will give a range of in and out from both the side. We can able to get it move. Yes, we can move it from both the sides. So animation can be faster or slow down. Not only two keys, but millions of keys can be handled together with time stretcher. So the option is time stretch. So through this, what we can do, we can make the animation fast. We can make the animation slow. Fast motion, slow motion can be done through the time stretcher. Now next, how to add a keys in the middle. Now few keyboard shortcut will come up. Note down all the things and make practice that. The first hotkey is K. What is the command? K. Add keys. So at any point we can add the keys. And after the addition of the keys, yes, we can get it move by up and down arrow. Up and down arrow will allow us to get it move the value more faster or less. Now the next hotkey, S. Write down. So just I'll write all the things and hope you're getting what is the meaning of it, and later we'll go for use of it. As for smooth key, so what is smooth key? It makes the tangent to get off. So here the animation bend happen and the value will be smooth only. By default it will be L. Next keyboard shortcut, L. L for linear key. So what is the difference between it? The animation will be always smooth here, but here it is linear, so the animation will be cut to cut. From one value, it will jump to the next value suddenly, but it slowly travels from one value to the other value, the smooth case. And key is to add the keys. So adding of the keys can be done in 1, 2, 3 ways. By set key, by changing value to a animated key, already animated keys, animated properties. And the next, by hitting the K button inside the spline editor, we can add the keys. And then first one, by right click and going for animation in any particular slider. These all the things can able to make a keys. So it depends like how we are making the keys on the screen. Now animation becomes smoother. Is it clear now? Just we are learning from a single property, but it can be implemented on merge also. So rotation and all things you can see. But here linear and smooth, SL. Can you see the difference? SL. So Control A, select all S. So the next keyboard shortcut, CTRL plus L. Okay, CTRL plus A. Select all key. And after that, we can make smooth and linear within fraction of second. Now select all the keys, Control A, and we can move it up. That means even it's done with multiple keys, we can move the position wherever we want, frame by frame or 10 frame ahead. Now you can see the spline editor in a bigger way and get it fit to the screen. Control F. Now the animation could be reverse. Keyboard shortcut V. What is the shortcut? V. So now the thing is happening from the black to red color in Fusion, the node, but we can make the animation to go in such a manner that it will go from red to black. Now can see. So this is a value difference, spline editor, Control F, Control A, and V, and go to the first frame from red to black. Now next keyboard shortcut, reverse keys. Right? So linear, smooth, reverse, select all. Now, here all the keys details are there inside the timeline, inside the spline editor. Select the keys, and if you forget all these hotkeys, then we can switch to these buttons. There are buttons which make it linear and smooth. Now the next button is hold in. So hope we can see the value. It will continue till the next keys. Hold in point, hold out point. So this is a stop animation kind of things. If you need to make, then you can go for step in, step out. So the next two major thing we got to know: step in, step out. So the concept of holding in other software or device, this is the same thing. Here also you can make the value to hold. Fine, so I'm not making a more strain on this graph editor. So let us make this much of knowledge of animation to make an event. First thing we got to know, animation in Fusion can be done to any particular node which is having input value. So with that logic, we're moving now. Get the animation to get default. Yes, you can make the animation to go for default by the right click, set to default. So there are a few options available for a particular property to get default, or else to whole, give a right click on the node, switch to the setting box, load default. So hope we have understood now how to make the loader to get animate and come into the neutral stage. Now let us do this knowledge to get implemented on your merge. Merge is for layers, and get a small red color node with smaller in size, like 500 by 500 or 300 by 300, and get it to the foreground, not to background. Background always connected to the place where this red is going to place. That is on the back side. So merge also does have this many properties, and all the properties can be connected. So let us start with the angle. So okay, we can see this. Give a right click, switch to the angle, and make it to go for the higher value, 360 degree. So let us see what happens. Is it clear? So hope we have understood now how to make the animation. Who is animating? The thing looks like the red color is animating, but in fact, red is not animating. This merge is animating. So inside the merge, the writing of animation is there. And inside the timeline, we can see only selected, merge is selected, and that property, it is animated. Exactly the same way, inside the spline editor also, we can see only one and fit to the screen. Now the animation is there on your screen. It is moving from one angle to the next available angle. And the next, how to make it duplicate. Yes, Control C, Control V, and get it connect the same. And to this node, you can go to the spline editor, select all, and hit the V. So what will happen now? The animation will be reverse in the front. Is it clear? Is it okay?
Okay.
Now this particular layer can be gone through operator call in or X and OR. So the background could be transparent, and here the operator could be over at off. Just check all these things in the starting frames. X and OR. So hope we have understood now how to make a simple animation in Fusion. Is it clear? Right then. So hope we have understood the flow. Hope we have already understood about X and OR. Now the same shape is dividing the same shape and forming this animation. And here this animation could be there or animation could not be there. You can make, copy and paste. The next flow is ready. And here we can go for next operator in or something. So hope these things are clear. And now we can place this by getting it group, Control Z. It can be placed over. And you can scale it down. Size could be down. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Make a simple animation in this manner. And here already learn things are happening. Control Z is for grouping. Though a number of nodes are there, we are just seeing in a group format. Whichever the things we want, we can get it open, understand, make changes, and come up. Mergement. Operator in has been used here. And this is over only. And the output is so. So it has been scaled down here. And get it closed once more. Now the whole thing, you can change the color by taking a busy node with green color and get them merge over in. So hope we have understood now how to make a simple animation and get it animate, change the color, make use of the blends. Is it clear?
Sir.
It can be worked out. Now one more option we'll learn and then we'll stop. How to make an animation repeated, that is called looping. That is technically called as loop the animation. So you can loop any one of the animation to continue further. So only selected one will be visible on the screen and get this to loop out. There is a simple button called loop. Now what happened? You can see by fitting it to the frame or getting minus, 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 and you can see the things are animated in the same manner. It's going on. So hope we have understood now how to make an animation go on continuous. Even the other one gets off with just one button code. Right? Now I'll see the animation looping in a different manner called ping pong. What is ping pong? Then the same animation will be 1 to 10, 10 to 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 1. Wherever it is, go, then reverse, forward, reverse, forward. It is also looping. So there are two types of looping we have seen now. One is called ping pong looping, and it is called progressive looping, set loop. So looping is again of two types, loop, set loop, and ping pong. So ping pong have a animation to go forward and reverse. So step in, loop, ping pong, all the like property of a animation. Is it clear? So that's it. I'm not making more strain. So make a simple animation and show it up. Again, a task given. Hope it can be done up. Is it clear? Now, in this regard, if any question, ask me up. ఇప్పుడుంట ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మీద ఏదైనా డౌట్ ఉంటే అడగండి. So what we have learned, how to make a simple animation, how to control the animation, how to make the animation in the flow, how to see the animation in timeline, how to see the animation in spline editor, how to stress the animation, how to loop the animation, how to linear the animation, how to smooth the animation. So within this knowledge, you can do a lot of jobs. An operator, animation, flow, grouping, all things combined together here. So I'm not going to make you more strain. If any question is there, you can ask or make a simple logo animation with this present knowledge. So in the merge also you can try it out with size and color and all. Fine. Any question? Yes.
Sir, how to change middle
Center
box color composition?
మిడిల్ బాక్స్ ఇక్కడ
Middle composition background one.
ఇది చూడండి, ఇది మిడిల్ అంటే ఇదే.
Yes, sir.
So drag, stop the animation. There are two animation here, and this is the middle one position. Where this is with in operator, it is created, it is not separate. So again, we need to make a transform to get place on making the whole thing to get changed. If the middle, again the internet get fluctuate. Hope the question answer, because the flow, the middle one is not separate. It is a part of the whole composition. That's why it is cannot be changed. But if you need to get changed, you can see this particular information is the things to get changed. And here, yes, you can make the flow to get changed. Does it okay? Hope we got to know which part we want to get moved. That should be any merge foreground. Then we can change it up. Is it clear, the answer? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So that's it for the day. We'll be meeting up in the next session with the higher ups. I'm not making you more strain because some output has to come up. You can scale that, make it some graphics. So the task of the day. Make a motion graphics. With animation property. So I'm scribbling on the screen, but yes, hope you have understood what I meant to say. Make a ping pong animation, loop animation, and do like where it is used, like channel IDs. చిన్న లోగో ఉంటుంది, అది కంటిన్యూస్గా లూప్ అవుతూనే ఉంటుంది. సో make the design to done in Photoshop, bring it over here, start up making animation, and make a small project file ready. Practically, if you're doing, then we'll go for higher. Because now the 3D will come, 3D projections, camera, light, everything is there. But fundamentally, it has to be get clear. Is it okay? So I'm stopping the screen now because I don't want to make you more pressure with the higher options. So we have learned timeline, spline editor, flow, right click, making animation, getting grouping, get out. And then, so I'm stopping now the screen. We'll meet in the next session with hide the option.